Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm your host James. So we're 4 videos into this gaming advice series, and so far I've introduced myself with my name 4 times and useful information for evaluating the utility of my advice I've been told 0 times, give or take. So without further ado, besides the ado I just told you I'd be getting into, let me introduce myself. Hello, I'm James, and I've been playing and running role-playing games for a little over 30 years now. A few years ago, my constant forays into creating expansive homebrew for Dungeons & Dragons, Shadowrun, and other role-playing games has been expanded into full-on game design. Indeed, I'm sure you're shocked to find out that I designed the very game this channel is named after. In fact, as of making this video, I've got another one in the oven. Now, between the homebrewing, the game design, and the 30 years to test out such homebrewing games designed, I've been thinking of game mechanics from many different angles, and I decided to share what I've learned with all of you wonderful people out there, as well as the subpar people and the rat bastards. We are very inclusive here. So, now that you have my resume and you've got some idea of how much salt to take with these ideas, let's get started on today's topic. Why you, the game master, should hop on the planned obsolescence bandwagon for magic items in your game. While most games already make use of disposable magic items, my premise is that games would benefit from switching over from persistent magic items entirely to either disposable or expirable ones. Now, I'm sure you have some concerns, not the least of which is the environmental impacts on your game world going forward. Well, we've all heard the stories of griffins getting their beaks stuck in all manner of potion bottles and subsequently expiring out of thirst and or embarrassment. Rest assured that with a good recycling program, these dead griffins can be put to good use in the very potions that killed them. And that, my friends, is the circle of life, I assume. Now, on to the advantages. Number 1. You're going to have far fewer obsolete magic items hanging around for your players to dispose of. Well, it's not a huge deal. Putting that old +1 sword out to pasture once your players find a +2 sword can retroactively steal little of the magic of finding it in the first place. The larger issue, however, is that going forward, obtaining that +2 sword is going to make finding any future +1 weapons a pretty drab experience. Instead, consider planting in your villain's vault a stock of vials of liquid that enchant a sword for a week. Now, normally you'd see a doctor if your sword remained enchanted for a week, but given that your new world will lack permanent magic items, a week-long enchantment is perfectly reasonable and healthy. Even if the players find a weaker version of that vial later, it's still going to have value to them once they expend the first vial. And as the lifespan of adventurers with a +2 sword does rise over a week, according to these statistics collected from Adventurers Weekly, they may actually be able to put all those extra weapon augmentations to use. Another reason to use expendable magic items is that it'll give your players an ever-changing roster of abilities. This can do a lot to keep the game fresh. It may have been great fun the first time your wizard snuck your party into the enemy stronghold with a disguised self-spell and a portable hole. But by Fortress Infiltration number 6, it's going to be getting a little stale. Compare that to having a set of one-use items that all have different properties and parameters that your players have to assemble into a different solution every time. This provides scenarios that demand as much creativity as your drunken arts college professor. The last reason I like disposable items over permanent ones is because it makes power creep a lot easier to deal with. In fact, if you want, you can use disposable items to temporarily bring players up to par for important encounters, confident that you won't be stuck with a bi-weekly Save the Universe plotline for the rest of the campaign. Your player characters may get too powerful to worry about little things like the planet-eating amoebas you wanted to introduce next game, but they won't stay that way for long, which means you can recycle the material after they've used their universe-grade potion of bleach. Now, one issue a lot of games with disposable items have is that many players will just hoard them. saving them for when they really need them, which for some players seems to mean on the day of their descendants' celebration of their great-grandchild's bar mitzvah. Fortunately for us, the bottled water companies have already figured out a way to overcome this. Just slap some expiration dates on everything. Convincing your players that they have a time limit on using each item ensures they won't just stockpile, and thus prevents your customers from stockpiling your product for dire emergencies that they desperately need them for. I mean, it maintains your players' enthusiasm for finding new magic items. So with that, I'll be signing off. Right. Just as soon as I finish the new rendition of this channel's theme song. For this video, we'll be taking audience submissions for me to sing. Oh, what's that? We don't have an audience? I guess I'm off the hook. Good night, everyone. Signing off.
Party rolled up to the dragon's cave, the halfling looked up to the fighter's glaive, and again the bard was declared a knave. Laughing onward did they go. The first trap the thief had sprung, with curse in the elven tongue. By her feet she had been hung, but onward did they go. The halfling was the next to fall, with height that was just too small. Down through the great amongst a fall, but onward did he go. In the armory the fighter stalled, as sure as it is that I am bold, choosing amongst the weapons sprawled. To this day he remains, and now only one remains, and onward did he go. Into the lair the bard beholds, mighty dragon upon his gold. So goes the tale, I am told, but naught would bring him low. Pressing onward did he go. The dragon smelled of sweet perfume, something in the bard did bloom. This would not be his tomb, for onward he would go. So with a wink and a clever smile, the bard did go the extra mile, trusting to his wit and guile. Onward did he go. With that 20 upon the big green die, once again would the GM cry, "Seduce the dragon," he did cry, and onward did he go, and onward did he go.